Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I will talk about Chapter 8 and Chapter 9. Chapter 8, the topic is planning and executing complete consumer network strategies. The Chapter 9 topic is creating the consumer network focused organization. First, we talk about Chapter 8. The Chapter 8 has 5 core strategies for consumer network. It's access, engage, customers, connect, and collaborate. They can be used by companies and organizations of all kinds and sizes to build more fruitful relationship with customers and to drive such key business objective as product definition, customer loyalty, sales efficiently, reduced costs, brand building, and innovation capacity. No two organizations will apply these strategies in purchase the same way. A mid-sized retail chain, a Fortune 100 financial service company, and a small technology startup each have very difficult consumers. They possess different organizational skills and strengths, and they have to contend with very different states of competitors. Not surprisingly, then each company should execute an effective consumer network strategy in its own way. A key challenge for any organization, therefore, is how to plan and implement a complete consumer network strategy in a way that best matches its specific business. This chapter provides a management process for strategy, planning, and implementation that can be applied to any organization. Any organization that is serious about consumer networks will want to develop an overall consumer network strategy that is both planned, that includes one or more of the 5 core strategies: access, engage, customize, connect, and collaborate, and is matched to the specific need of the organization or business. Such an overall strategy may be a company-wide initiative led by the CEO of founder of a business or the president of a non-profit. In other cases, developing a consumer network strategy may be an initiative assigned to a specific division, branch, or business within a larger company. In each case, the manager in charge of the creating an overall strategy faces several key questions. This is a question. The first one is, when do you begin and what goals should you set for your project? The second is, how should you match your strategy to your consumer needs and to your business and brand? The third is, how do you decide which of the 5 core strategies to deploy and how to connect them to one another? The next one is, which divisions of your business do you need to involve in executing the strategy successfully? The next one is, how do you sell your project to upper management? And if you move ahead, how do you know if your project is? Step one, setting objective. Define key outcomes for your organization. Let your strategy will aim to achieve the step 2, segmentation and position, understanding your consumer and their network behavior, as well as your brand position to provide the foundation for any new strategy. The step 3, strategy selection and ideation. Selecting which of the 5 core strategies to include and understanding how to fit in to your business, your consumers, your competitors, and your objectives. Concept ideation and testing must then be used to select a specific innovation to implement. The, the step 4, execution. Enlist the right team to carry out your strategy across functional disciplines, from research and development to operation, customer-facing service, outbound communication, and top-level leadership. The step 5, measurement, putting metric in place that can be measured the result of your project against the objective you defined in the first step. Metrics should measure the strategy's impact and return on investment, as well as what is working and why, in order to improve and build on the consumer network strategy. This is the picture about the 5-step consumer network strategy. And this is explain the step 1, setting objective. The first step to developing and executing an overall consumer network strategy is to identify your primary objective. Are you undertaking this intentionally to build your brand and increase loyalty among repeat consumers, to generate more leaders and improve online sales, to lower your consumer service costs? By defining the objective upfront, you can ensure that the development of your consumer network strategy will focus on achieving real impact for your organization. As we have seen in numerous cases, consumer network strategies can help organizations of all kinds achieve real business impact. Recall the toy maker Genzi, which creates a $100 million product by linking online and offline play in its Weibo Kids toys, or food, which dropped 33% per launch awareness of its food featured among nationwide consumers with its online consumer movement. Computer makers Dell generated more than 10,000 new ideas for product and service simply by inviting consumers to share ideas at the Dell Ideas Room. By maximizing utility and mobility, Kraftfood created an iPhone app that promoted recipes for its product and sold over 1 million copies to paying consumer. And the iPhone itself built a library of more than 100,000 such apps and helped drive a strong in sales in its second year by launching its app store, which trapped the open innovation of a network of developers. Objectives that have been achieved by this and this consumer network strategies range across the domain of innovation, marketing, sales, communications, and intel operations. Specific objective that an organization may consider as it begins. Strategy development include this part. The first one is innovation objective. Gain consumer insights, capturing and evaluating consumer input and ideation, differentiation product, differentiation service, expanding the capacity for innovation, marketing objective, building brand image, building audience engagement, loyalty, and support, amplify positive consumer word of mouth, marketing to hard to reach consumers, marketing to high volume, next audience. Next one is sales objective, generating new consumer leaders, driving direct marketing sales, achieve great efficiency in online sales channels, earn permission to market to consumer directly, educating your market to grow it. Next one is communication objective, managing reputation and crisis response, breaking through media clutter, improve product support and documentation, mobilizing employees through better communication, improve data transparency within the organization. The next one is operating objective, extending the global reach of your business, loyering consumer service costs, increase productive despite limited resources, increasing speed of business decision making. Step 2.
The objective, okay, in your case study, the objective why you take this something, that one you get.
Step 2, segmentation and position. The second step in planning and executing an overall consumer network strategy is to understand who your consumers are, how they are participating in networks, and what your brand position or value position is for them. This background research, which fits under the traditional marketing practice of segmentation and position, will provide an essential foundation for create efficiently new strategies. Consumer profile. Traditional segmentation focused on understanding your consumer demographics, for example, age, sex, income, and so on, and pushing physical graphics about, for example, interest, social volume. The point of segmentation is that any organization service more than one kind of consumer. An automaker may need to understand and serve the needs of young audience, making their first pushing the category. Parents who family size declared their pushing lanes and a small group of affluent consumers who are seeking a different kind of auto-motivated experience. An auto company does not seek to produce one car model or ad campaign to reach all of those consumer segments. Similarly, one consumer network strategy may not effectively reach all these segments either. Let's talk about the technology use profile. In addition to traditional market research on each segment, it is critical that business examine their values, their behaviors, their technology adoption in consumer network. Is your consumer segment more focused on using network to connect socially with friends, to solve problems for their family, or to meet goals in their professional life. Which new media have they adopted, and how actively do they use them? Brand assessment. In addition to understanding your consumer, it is critical to start with a clear understanding of your brand and what it means to them before developing a consumer network strategy. Strong brands communicate and deliver a clean promise to consumers, whether it is an experience or is a more functional value proposition. Strong brands have a powerful message at their core. Here are a few, like Nike, athlete aspiration is just do it. Apple, your digital life made easy. Kiva, make a difference for a real person. 9, let's change lives. Starbucks, a third space to relax between work and home. SAP, making your business a best long business. The step 3, strategy selection and ideation. The third step in consumer network strategy planning is where managers must decide which of the 5 core strategies to pursue, develop specific ideas for new innovation and initiatives, and then select which of those to include in their final plan. The strategy decision questions. In selecting from the 5 core strategies, access, engage, customize, connect, and collaborate, you will want to explore and answer a set of key decision questions. The first question is, which of the 5 core strategies will you prioritize for your own organization? The second decision question is, should you focus on only one strategy, on a few, or on a holistic approach that encompasses all 5? Your last decision question, if you are including multiply network strategies, is in what sequence should the strategies be developed or launched? Ideation and selection of concept. Through the question above, a segment consumer needs, organizational strengths, and competition within your category. You must have already identified several ideas for innovation application of your choosing strategies by your organization. The step 4, executing. Once the core strategies have been selected and specific ideas have been identified and choosing, your organization must become the executing of your customer network strategy. To do so will require an interdisciplinary mindset and a broad range of capacity. Some of these capacities may already exist in different domains within your organization. Others may need to be developed. The step 5 is measurement. As you begin to execute your consumer network strategy, it is essential to have in place a set of metrics to measure the consumer response and the ultimate impact of your initiative. As best you can, no measurement system will fully capture the precious monetary benefit of every initiative you undertake, but with carefully planning, a good approximation can be made for whatever strategy you implement. Um, the chapter 8 is finished. Now we are talking. Next, we will talk about the chapter 9. Chapter 9, we are talking about the focus on the organization, create the consumer network, focus on the organization. The rise of consumer network is very recent, yet we can already see how networks have begun to transform many aspects of organizations, from communication to innovation to strategic planning. The scope and the impact of consumer networks are not confined to any single department, so as they reface marketing, public affairs, engineering, sales, senior leadership, and more. What then are the implications of consumer networks for the shape of organizations as a whole? And how will the organization of the future change to adopt them? From consumer focus to a consumer network focus. At the end of the 20th century, most thinking on how organizations should relate to their key constituencies was embodied in the notion of the consumer-focused organization within academic literature. This concept was studied to identify the factors most important for organizational success. In an influential article, synthesized research on this subject, J. Cohley and Bernard J. Works identified 3 key elements of the consumer-focused organization. The first one is focused organization. First one is intelligence generation, the ability to gather information about the consumer and use it to identify current needs and anticipate future needs. The second one is intelligence dissemination, the ability to communicate the findings of intelligence generation among the company's division. The third one is replacitiveness to intelligence, the ability to respond quickly and efficiently to the consumer needs uncovered by intelligence generation. Response can include a choice of which consumers to focus on, the development of new goods and services to meet their need of these consumers, and effective marketing and the promotion of these goods and services to them. The 3 elements remain important to any organization today, and for their own area, they offered a fair, comprehensive summary of how organizations might focus on consumers' needs. But they also reveal how the model of a consumer-focused organization allows to show the real reality of consumers in an earlier age. In this model, intelligence is only gathered from consumers who remain passive actors within the organization's interaction and knowledge sharing are based on periodic postcards between company silos that otherwise go about their business separately. Response to consumer needs are carried out by the organization with no further input from the consumer themselves. All 3 elements then reflect a model net was created in the age of one-to-one communication. When customers were isolated from each other, unable to coordinate, and easily reached by mass media. Now, of course, we live in a different age, one transformed by the customer network focused organization, the use of many-to-many communication tools by consumers. No longer are consumers passive bystanders in the research, planning, and the development of new products and services, waiting patiently for companies to roll them out to a mass market and trumpet them with blessings of one-way communications. The internet's many-to-many tools have given rise to consumer networks that are dynamic, interconnected, and able to act independently of the strategies and plan of business. This age demands a different model for companies, a model of a consumer network focused organization. What would a consumer network focused organization look like? We do not yet have a clear picture. Few organizations have arisen under the pervasive influence of consumer network, and few still have grown a large size in industry outside of a digital medium. But we can glimpse the future by looking carefully at established businesses that have been particularly forward-looking. These companies have embraced the consumers' network strategies broadly, not just in a single experience, but in multiple intentionally, and close the division of their company. In these organizations, a vision of consumer networks is pervasive and emanates from the most senior leadership. This organization, from different reasons, started thinking about networks earlier than others and have made networks central to their strategies. By looking at three such one-guide organization, we can gain insights into what the consumer network focused organizations of the future will look like. The next is the three example. The Dell, tried by fail. Since the 2005, Dell faced two trials by fail under direction from the top. Dell began building on its blogger outreach program to find new strategies for connecting with consumer networks. We wanted to fertilize new ideas, let things die if they don't work, consolidate others, and keep learning. Dell has always been a very consumer-focused organization because of its direct selling model of building computers to order for consumers. Dell has seen many returns on investment for its focus on consumer networks, include cost saving in consumer service, improved brand reputation and sentiment, and the ability to serve as an early warning system for any business, product, or consumer issues that the company may face. The second example, we talk about the SAP. SAP SAP is the global leader in database and resources management software for business, focus on consumer networks. In essence, SAP's very business strategy has been modeled on a network in which its own company is linked to a web of knowledge representing all the other businesses that are critical to the information technology success of SAP's consumers. SAP Global Ecosystems has yielded important benefit in efficiency of consumer service. This is a picture I found from the web net. SAP's retail manufacturing architecture. This is a platform to share knowledge in China, named Zhihu. The third example is Obama's 2008 community organizer in chief. The remarkable lawyer of consumer networks in Barack Obama's 2008 campaign for the presidency stemmed in large measurement from the candidate's roles in community organizing in the housing project of Chicago. To do so, the campaign held Blue State Digital, whose partner has begun developing such tools 4 years previously while working for the presidential campaign of Howard Dean and with C. Clark. After the 2004 election, they joined forces to form Blue State Digital and were held by the Democratic National Committee to build a web-based tool to deliver on DNC's new 50-state organizing strategies. The Obama campaign was able to use its digital network to quickly identify those grassroots supporters who were already most active in Idaho and use them to coordinate meetings across the states. It was a much more efficient organizing model. In each of the cases, Dell, Sharp, and Obama's campaign, they focus on consumers' network is central to the overall strategy and vision of the organization and is supported with leadership from the top. 3 new critical elements will define the consumer network focus the organization. The organization will be borderless, collaborative, and pervasively networked. That's all. Thank you.